Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Forge here back again with another MLB The Show video. Today, man, we are kind of doing something a little bit different. So, in one of my other videos, I got a really good comment on a gameplay thing. He was pretty much asking, let me just show it to you. So, I'm gonna pop it up right there. Y'all can see he was asking about discipline. How can I be more disciplined at the plate? So I thought to myself, you know what? I can actually make a video about this. I can pretty much go in depth about how we can work on being more disciplined at the plate. Um, but yeah, I want to do this in the future again. So if you guys want to drop any more of these type of questions in the comments, please do. I would really appreciate it. Again, if you guys aren't yet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I think we're about to hit 900 subscribers or so, and we're getting pretty close to 1,000. So appreciate that, guys. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, guys. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I've been trying forever to record this video and try to make it in a very easy to understand way, and honestly, it's just extremely hard. Um, the reason being is MLB The Show is a visual thing, right? So like, I don't know if you see the same thing that I see, right? So like, I can see the delivery out of the pitcher's hand differently than you do. So I'm gonna keep it unedited, right? I'm gonna keep this whole thing unedited. There's just gonna be raw footage of me trying to explain to you guys, and hopefully you guys can understand what I'm trying to say, right? So the very first thing you have to understand is your approach. Okay, you have to make an approach, and your approach is gonna change. At an 0-0 count, your approach should be different at an 0-0 count than in an 0-2 count, right? Because in an 0-0 count, you're looking for your pitch, but in an 0-2 count, you're just trying to survive, right? And that's something you have to understand, right? So let's just set up the pitches just so y'all can see, right? Sinker. We're gonna do so. This is against slider. Let's actually go against Cabrera, right? This Cabrera right here. So let's go sinker, slider, changeup, right? And we're not going to put anything in the zone, right? So right here, 0-0 count, we're looking for our pitch, right? Our pitch. So that's going to be something up and in right here, right? That's not us. That's slider down and away. And we're still in a hitter's count, right? So we're looking for our pitch, something middle in with the sinker. That was an R pitch. I thought it might have been, so I check swing, right? So now we're in a 2-0 count. We're still in our approach. Let's see. Oh, not our pitch again, right? He's not really throwing us our pitch. 3-0 count. Let's see if we finally get it. Got to be ready for it. Not us again, right? And it just makes it easier, even though that was a really close pitch, since it's not within like the vicinity where I'm looking at. Ooh, right there he got me. I mean, nobody throws a slider like that, and I should be able to recognize that, but I was looking sinker up and in, so kind of fooled me. Right? So right there, I was looking sinker up and in, but since I was looking up and in, I realized it wasn't sinker, it was slider, so I was able to go down and track it and then hit it out. Okay? But pretty much you're just looking for mistake pitches. Right there, he did it again. Why is he not throwing me sinkers? Hold up. We did turn on the sinker, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. But pretty much in a hitter's count, you want to only look for your pitch. Okay? It's as simple as that. You don't want to swing at pitches that aren't your pitch. When you're in a pitcher's count, it all changes, right? It makes it harder to be disciplined, right? When you're in a hitter's count, it's easier to be disciplined because you're only looking for certain pitches, right? You're only looking for the fat pitches, not the pitches on the corners, only the fat pitches, the ones down in the middle of the zone, the ones up in the zone, right? But when you go to a pitcher's count, it's different because now you're trying to fight. Right? Now you're just trying to survive. You're trying not to strike out. Here's the thing. I don't mind striking out. Okay? And you shouldn't either. Don't be scared to strike out. Right? Still keep a little bit of that approach that you had when looking for your fat pitch on your hitter's count with your pitcher's count. Right? But the only thing that you got to keep in mind is kind of have a visual of what pitches your opponent might throw you to try to strike you out. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? But what I mean by that is the dots, right? Everybody knows the famous dots that everybody loves to throw, right? Some examples of that, let's say we have Corbin Burns right against David Ortiz, right? So it's a righty on lefty matchup. What's a pitch that a lot of people like to try to strike me out with? The up and in sinker, right? The sinker that starts at Ortiz's head and then just magically comes down into the zone. Okay, that's a pitch you got to keep in mind. Okay, what's another pitch that he might try to get me with? Ooh, the cutter down in a way that starts way out of the zone, but then it magically comes back into the zone. Right? It's really hard to read. Keep that pitch in mind. Okay, so those are the pitches that he might try to strike me out. What are the pitches that he might try to get me to chase? Right? That's another thing that you got to keep in mind, right? So let's see. Cutter, right? Inside, that's not a strike. That's at the hands, right? So what does that pitch look like? Where does that pitch start? Right? So you got to keep that visual in your head. Slider down and in, down at the leg, down at the ankle. Where does that pitch start and how does it look like? Keep that in your head. Right? Change up, low in the zone. Where does that pitch start and where does that end? Right? Keep that in your head. So hopefully y'all understand what I'm trying to say. Keep all these pitches in your thoughts, right? But stick to your approach. All right. So for example, if I had Corbin Burns, right, and I'm facing him, even though I'm in an 0-2 count, I am still looking for my pitch on the inside part of the zone right here. That being said, I'm fighting, right? So if I don't get it, so like right there, I'm trying to foul tip that off. Even though it wasn't on my thing, I'm trying to go the other way with it. I was too late on that, so it's unfortunate. But here we go. Let's see. I have all these pitches in mind. That was a strike. And right now I'm doing a really bad job. I haven't warmed up, but you should be trying to fight these pitches off. Right there, that's honestly a fat pitch. That's a mistake pitch. But right here, you're just trying to fight. When you're in an 0-2 count, you're just trying to fight. Okay, let's ball. And another thing that plays into this is your opponent's tendencies, right? So you got to be putting attention to what does my opponent like to do? What does my opponent usually do when he tries to strike me? All right, and that is probably the biggest thing when it comes to discipline, right? So if I fall into an 0-2 count, is my opponent going to try to make me chase or is he going to try to dot? And you have to determine that throughout the game. All right. So usually use the first 2 innings, 2 to 3 innings. Hopefully you can do it quicker than that. The quicker you do it, the better you'll be. But determine, is my opponent the type of guy who's going to try to make me to chase? Or is he going to be the guy who's going to try to dot me? All right. And that's where all the dots that we just talked about come into mind. And of course, the dots change depending on who the pitcher is and who the batter is. But it's a very, very important thing to realize, okay, my opponent's the type of guy who's going to try to make me to chase, or he's going to be the type of guy who's going to try to dot. Because the sooner you realize that he's going to try to dot me, then that's going to let you know that you're going to have to swing more often on pitcher's counts. So whenever you're down in the count, meaning that he's going to continuously throw strikes at you, meaning that you're going to have to swing the bat more. But if you realize that your opponent is not going to throw you strikes, that he's going to try to make you chase, that should trigger your brain to realize that you are not going to have to swing so often and that you should be more patient on 0-2 counts. That being said, your opponent at any time can just switch it up on you, right? And of course, that's where the visual comes in, right? Like if you realize that he's throwing you a strike, then you got to swing the bat, right? And you just got to fight it off and just try to survive. But little thoughts like what I just mentioned will help with the discipline. All right, guys, but to pretty much review, to just kind of keep it simple, right? When you're in a hitter's count, look for your pitch. When you're in a pitcher's count, when you're behind in the count, you're fighting, but you're adding up all this knowledge that you've been collecting through the game to help you determine if you're gonna have to swing a lot on O2 counts or if you're gonna be taking a lot on O2 counts. And if there's a challenge for me to you guys is try to strike out looking more and swinging less, right? I think I need to word that differently. But like try to strike out looking more than you do striking out swinging at the ball. Okay? And yeah, I mean, you're going to strike out, but it's going to help you get in better situations because you're going to be swinging at less ball, right? And it's going to set you up for more success because you're going to be in better counts. You're going to be in 3-1 counts. You're going to be in 3-0 counts, right? Because you're not swinging at all those pitches in the dirt. You're not swinging at those sliders away. The big thing is you got to remember you have 3 strikes to work with. That is a huge thing that people don't realize. Everybody wants to go up there and swing at everything. Chill. You have 3 strikes to work with. But all right, guys. That is pretty much going to be it for this video. Hopefully, some of the things I said made sense. Honestly, like just think like I don't even remember what I talked about, so I think it might just be rambling and rambling and rambling. But hopefully, I did say something that actually helps you guys out. Um, but yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for today's video. Again, like I said, if you have any other questions like this, like how can I be more disciplined? How can I, pitch better? How can I, any type of gameplay thing, leave it in the comments below. Like, subscribe. But yeah, man, this was your boy J-Rod, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.